Earlier, we brought a report about the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, saying it has not extended the continuous voter registration exercise, but that it is abiding by the court ruling. I have joining me at this time for further insight into this, the National Commissioner for Information and Voter Education. So help us better understand what INEC is actually, the information INEC is passing out to Nigerians at this critical time.
Well, let me say this, that the foundation of any credible election depends on a credible voters register. When the voters register is not credible, when the voters register is skewed, when the voters register does not command the confidence of the Nigerian people, the outcome will also not command the confidence of the Nigerian people. The Independent National Electoral Commission started the online pre-registration for new registrants on the 28th day of June 2021. And then in July, we started the physical registration. So the present registration has been going on for almost 11 months. Now, the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission has made it very clear that the commission is disposed towards extending the period for this particular voters registration. But we cannot extend the period to, beyond a certain period. Some people are canvassing that we should extend the period of registration by 90 days. Some people are canvassing for 60 days. But if you look at Section 19 of the Electoral Act 2022, it makes it very clear that at the end of this registration exercise, this EVR, that the commission shall display for public scrutiny and for claims and objections a copy of the voters register in all the local government areas of the Federation, and we have 774 local governments, that we should also display the voters register in all the electoral wards, and we have 8,809 electoral wards, and this has to go on for a period of 7 days. Thereafter, we have to clean up the voters register, remove multiple and double registrants, and then make the permanent voters cards ready for collection. And all these things have to be done. So the position of the commission as of today is that a federal high court sitting in Abuja has restrained the commission from putting a stop to the voters registration exercise on the 30th day of June 2022 or any other date, pending the hearing and determination of a motion on notice that has been filed and slated for hearing on the 29th day of June 2022. So the implication is that this present commission, being a constitutional body and being a public trust, will obey the order of the Federal High Court. Now, when we get to the Federal High Court, we will explain why the commission is insisting that the period for the registration of voters must terminate at a certain period. But having said that, I want to say that the commission as a constitutional body is disposed towards extending the period for the voters registration in order to address the present surge in the number of registrants. But we cannot extend it beyond a certain period. Certainly not up to the period being demanded by certain groups and by certain organizations, but definitely the commission is disposed towards extending the period for the voters registration to enable as many Nigerians as possible to get their names on the voters roll.
In this regard is quite commendable. Let's talk about the collection of the PVCs, because prior to the 2019 elections, several PVCs were uncollected by Nigerians. What is INEC doing to ensure that not only do people register, but they get these PVCs with them?
Well, I think that is the crux of the matter. It will be a completely futile exercise. It will be an exercise in futility to keep on registering people, and at the end of the day, the permanent voters cards of the people who have registered is not made available to them so that they can show up on election day and exercise their democratic franchise. Now, for the permanent voters cards of those who registered previously before the 2019 general election, their permanent voters cards are still in the 774 local government areas of the commission. For those who registered between the 28th day of June 2021 and December 2021, the Commission has printed their permanent voters cards, and those permanent voters cards are also in the various local government offices of the Commission. And some of our registration officers are also going to the various wards on a rotational basis with those permanent voters cards. We implore on Nigerians to make efforts to collect their permanent voters cards. But let me make this very clear, and I think that is part of the confusion. The CVR that is ongoing is not a new registration. The present CVR is for those who have never registered before and those who have turned 18. Every other person that has registered before does not need to register again because we have the data of those people in our database. If your PVC is lost, if your PVC is damaged, if you want to transfer from one local government to the other, or from one state to the other, or from one registration area to the other, you don't have to register afresh. You just go and complain, and then we will print a fresh PVC for you. But if you attempt to register again, your second registration will be invalid, and we will not print a fresh permanent voters card for you. And I think that this is important, and this has fueled the type of surge we have in the various states and local governments, and because people are engaged in double and multiple registration, which is a completely futile exercise.
Mr. Okoye, you have mentioned that those who registered between June and December 2021 have their PVCs printed already. What about people who registered in 2022, especially the last few months now?
Well, those who registered during the third quarter and those who are registering during this fourth quarter, we assure them that their PVCs will be ready way ahead of the conduct of the 2023 general election. And the moment their PVCs are ready, we are going to send bulk SMS to them. We are going to send email to those who have email accounts. We are going to make announcements on radio, on television. And then we are also going to use our 774 local government offices to reach out to traditional rulers, religious leaders, community leaders, and other stakeholders to inform them that these cards are ready. But people must collect these cards by themselves. There cannot be any collection by proxy. So people must be ready to collect these cards when these cards are ready. But these cards will be ready way ahead of the 2023 general election.
INEC National Commissioner for Information and Voter Education, Festus Okoye, thank you for joining us on TVC News at 10.
Thank you so much.